The morning light trickles into the house like a quiet promise. It's still and warm, like a dream slowly fading into day. Seong-yul walks down the stairs, his steps soft, his body a little heavy, like he was wearing yesterday's weight. In the kitchen, Sang-won moves with quiet care, preparing breakfast. The clink of utensils and the scent of something home-cooked fill the space like a familiar song. Sang-won said with a gentle smile, "Good morning, Seong-yul." Seong-yul also said, "Good morning, Yong." Sang-won said, "Did you sleep well?" Seong-yul said, "Yes," glances at Sang-won, his smile small but real. "And you? Did you sleep well too?" Sang-won said, "I did." Seong-yul stretching slightly and said, "My body feels a little stiff, like I slept folded in half. But looking at your face, it's like the clouds are lifting." They sit at the table. The clatter of plates is gentle, domestic, and familiar. Sang-won said, "You have been looking thinner lately, like you are slowly disappearing. Should we go see our doctor together?" Seong-yul said, "Just because I don't have much of an appetite. It's not worth the fuss." Sang-won softly, but firmly said, "For my own peace of mind, I would like to make sure. Before the days start running faster than I can catch them." Seong-yul pauses, then smiles faintly and said, "It's probably nothing. Just a passing cloud. Nothing the sun can't handle." Then we are shown hospital scene, where the sterile white of the hospital room was too bright, like a spotlight on a stage he never meant to step onto. The doctor's voice cut through the silence, like the crack of ice on a winter lake. "Congratulations, you are pregnant. I would say about 4 weeks, more or less." The words hung in the air, delicate and dangerous, like glass ornaments swinging from a thread. "Why didn't you come to the hospital sooner?" the doctor asked, his tone gently laced with concern. "Being omega recessive, your body must have been under a lot of pressure." Seong-yul shook his head slowly, as if denying it could undo what was already set in motion. "No, I didn't think I could get pregnant," he murmured, voice low, belly louder than a falling leaf. Then doctor turned to the screen, his eyes scanning data that flickered like stars on a cold night. "Male omega, especially a recessive one, can face complications during delivery," he pointed to the monitor. "Here, this little black spot, this shadow, that is the gestational sac." It pulsed faintly on the screen, small and stubborn, like a seed trying to bloom through frost. "As it grows, it will start to press against your organs. A quiet storm gathering inside you." His voice softened, but the weight of his words sank deep. "Since you are still in the early weeks, I suggest you think about it carefully." Then scene shift to the apartment, where the apartment was soaked in dusk, shadows pooling in the corners like secrets too afraid to speak. Seong-yul sat curled on the couch, the ultrasound photo cradled in his hands like a brittle leaf. His eyes traced the faint, inky dot at the center of the image, the tiniest echo of life. "That little black dot in the photo," his voice was barely more than breath, "that's a baby." He smiled faintly, like someone remembering the warmth of spring in the middle of winter. "And it looks kinda cute too." Silence fell again, but it wasn't empty, it pulsed with quiet sorrow. Seong-yul's gaze lingered on the picture, as if it could answer the questions he hadn't dared to ask. "Hyun is baby and me," he paused. Then he said, his throat tightened around the next words as though they carried thorns. "I want to have it." He looked down, heart aching in the hollowness of what could have been. Even if he didn't show it, if it were not for me, Hyun would have been engaged to a high-class omega by now. His fingers curled around the photo, gently, protectively. "I want to give back what was taken from him, because of me." The sentence fell like rain on dry soil, quiet, but full of longing. Just then, the door creaked open. Sang-won stepped inside, tension clinging to him like a storm cloud. "Seong-yul, we need to talk." Seong-yul stood, bracing himself against the tide already rising in his chest. "Yes," he said, voice steady but fragile, "I was going to talk to you too." They faced each other, two people on opposite sides of the same ache. Sang-won took a deep breath, then exhaled like someone surrendering a dream. Let's give up the idea of having the baby. He looked away, eyes glassy. I'm sorry, I should be happy, but his voice cracked like a frozen lake beneath too much weight. I keep seeing something bad happening to you. I can't live without you, Seong-yul. He stepped closer, his hand hovering just inches from Seong-yul's. We don't need to have a baby. Let's drop it. Just having you is enough. Moment passed where the world stopped turning. Then Seong-yul whispered, Young. His hand gently took Sang-won's, placing it over his own heart. No, I can't give up. Sang-won's breath caught. Seong-yul smiled, not from certainty, but from quiet courage. Don't worry, everything will be fine, I promise. Then, softer he said, instead, I will do everything Young wants. Just let me protect this one small thing. And in the stillness that followed, it was clear. This wasn't just about the baby. It was about redemption, about love carried like a candle through the dark. It was about two people trying to hold each other, while the world tried to pull them apart. Then scene shift to the hospital, where sunlight filtered through the hospital, blinds like hope slipping quietly through a half-open door. The room was quiet, not the heavy kind of silence from before, but one that felt like the hush after rain, when the world holds its breath and begins again. Seong-yul rested back against the pillows, his hands folded gently over his stomach as though cradling a secret. His smile was soft, the kind that blooms after a long winter. And to think, he said, his voice touched with wonder, that such a simple phrase would carry me straight to the hospital. He let out a light laugh, fragile, but real. It has been almost 3 months since I was here last. Someone sat beside him, fingers loosely laced together, watching him the way someone might watch a star they thought they would lost. Seong-yul turned to him with a flicker of warmth behind his eyes. Today I spoke to the doctor, he continued, soft pride threading his words like silver through fabric. He said I'm stable now. Healthy, even. Probably because someone has been feeding me too well, and making sure I sleep like a spoiled cat every night. There was teasing in his voice, but it carried an ache of gratitude too deep to name. Sang-won smiled relieved and wistful. So they will release you tomorrow. He glanced down, his thumb brushing the inside of Seong-yul's wrist. You must be disappointed. Seong-yul reached up and draped his arm around Sang-won's neck, drawing him closer in the way that only someone who has found home in another person can. His breath brushed against Sang-won's skin like a secret. And you know what else I asked him? Sang-won turned, already smiling. What? But before he could say more, Seong-yul pressed a soft, feather-light kiss to the corner of his lips, just enough to steal his breath, not his balance. Then, eyes sparkling with mischief and affection, he whispered, he said, it's okay now. We can. In that moment, laughter danced at the edges of their hearts. The fear hadn't disappeared, but for now, it had stepped aside, making room for something else. Something tender, something healing, something that felt like the first sunlight after a long night. Then the hospital lights dimmed to a low hum, casting soft shadows across the room like folded wings. Outside the window, the moon hung low, silent, silver, and watching. Seong-yul lay beneath the thin blanket, eyes open, staring up at the ceiling, but his mind was nowhere near it. Beside him, someone sat on the edge of the bed, his hand resting gently over Seong-yul's. Their fingers twined instinctively, like vines searching for something to hold on to in the dark. Neither spoke for a while. It wasn't silence, it was understanding. Then Seong-yul turned his face toward him, his voice a breath between words. Can you lie down, just for a little while? Sang-won hesitated only a moment, before slipping beneath the blanket beside him. The bed was narrow, but the space between their bodies felt even narrower, like gravity had redrawn itself just for them. Seong-yul turned, pressing his forehead gently to Sang-won's chest. I can feel your heartbeat, he murmured. It's fast. Sang-won's arms wrapped around him, steady and warm. It's here, he whispered. It always is. His fingers brushed down Seong-yul's back, not hurried, not demanding, just tracing the outline of trust. Seong-yul shifted slightly, their legs brushing, the warmth of skin through fabric stirring something soft and fragile between them. Desire was there, but it was quiet, reverent. Not a flame roaring to consume, but an ember glowing steady in the dark. Seong-Yul looked up, his lips nearly brushing Sungwon's. It's strange, he whispered. How close I feel when you haven't even touched me like that. Sungwon's thumb gently stroked his cheek. Because it's not just your body I want, he said. It's all of you. Their kiss was slow, silent, wove past from breath to breath, not rushed, but full of meaning. And when Seong-Yul pressed his hand to Sungwon's chest, feeling the rhythm beneath his skin, he smiled. Then wait for me, just a little longer, he said, and I will give you everything. Sungwon nodded, pulling him close again. I already have everything. You are here. And in the hush of that hospital room, with nothing more than touch and heartbeat between them, they fell asleep, entwined not in desire alone, but in something deeper, something that didn't need to be spoken to be known. Then scene shift to the apartment, where Seong-Yul stood by the mirror, his hand resting on his belly, the soft curve beneath his palm, like a quiet mountain slowly rising from the earth. I think I have changed, he whispered, voice fragile as autumn leaves trembling in a gentle wind. If I were me, maybe I wouldn't want to walk this path either. He gazed down, a sad smile ghosting his lips like a fading sunset. Even back then, I couldn't reach the end of it. Now, this mountain inside me has only grown taller. His words hung in the room, delicate and heavy like fragile glass, beautiful, but trembling on the edge of breaking. Sungwon stepped inside, concern threading through his calm like a steady river cutting through stone. Seong-Yul, he said softly, you are taking longer than usual to get ready. What's weighing on you? Are you hurting? Seong-Yul shook his head, his voice a brittle whisper, carrying a sea of doubt. No, it's not that. His eyes searched Sungwon's like a lost traveler seeking a lighthouse. Maybe you don't want me anymore. Not like before. Sungwon blinked, caught off guard by the vulnerability etched in Seong-Yul's tone. What? Seong-Yul's fingers twined at the hem of his shirt, as if trying to hold the shifting tides of his own fears. Did you ever wonder, he asked, voice soft like dawn's first light, that your touch might fade, because my body is no longer the same? Sungwon's eyes softened, a steady flame in the gathering dusk. Did it ever cross your mind, he said quietly, that maybe it's the opposite? That every change only pulls me closer. Without hesitation, Sungwon lifted Seong-Yul into his arms, careful and sure like a gardener lifting a precious, growing bloom to shelter it from the storm. Let's go out next time, he whispered, you and me, carrying this together. Seong-Yul smiled, gentle breeze stirring the leaves of his heart. I have become heavy, he murmured, nestling closer, like a burden you don't have to bear. Sungwon tightened his hold, voice a quiet promise, what are you saying? This weight is you, my love. And to me, you are weightless. In that stillness, they became two roots entwined beneath the surface, steadfast, unyielding, growing stronger beneath the soil of love and trust. Then we are shown intimate scene between them, where Seong-Yul's fingers trembled as they touched Sungwon's cheek, not from fear, but from recognition, like finding a home he never admitted he needed. Their foreheads met in the hush between heartbeats, the silence saying what years of restraint could not. When they finally kissed, it wasn't hunger, it was surrender. Quiet, absolute. Then scene shift to the hospital, where the hospital room lay bathed in soft, golden light, the kind that feels like a whispered promise, tender and unspoken. Seong-Yul's fingers trembled as they brushed against the tiny hand, wrapped around Sungwon's thumb, so small, so delicate, like a fragile bloom daring to open in early spring. I think the baby wants to hug his dad, he said softly, voice full of awe and hope. Sungwon's eyes, deep and steady as ancient roots, softened as he looked down at the child. I don't want him to cry, he whispered, the fear of the unknown folding around his heart like a shadow. Seong-Yul smiled, warm light flickering inside him like a candle's flame in the dark. He is so calm, like a quiet sea at dawn. He never cries. His words settled like a soothing tide. Let's hold him quickly, before the moment slips away like sand. Someone lifted their baby, cradling him as if holding the most precious part of his soul. The world outside seemed to hush, giving space for this new life to bloom. Seonyu's eyes sparkled as he leaned closer, voice trembling with joy. Look, he is not crying. Someone's gaze softened, his breath catching like the wind through autumn leaves. He looks exactly like you, he murmured, love threading through each word. Seonyu's smile flickered with playful light, like sunlight breaking through clouds. I thought he looked like Hyun. Someone chuckled softly, a quiet sound like rain falling on a quiet rooftop. You should sleep a little more, he said gently, his hand brushing back Seonyu's hair like a benediction. Seonyu's voice was a fragile thread, pulling at the edges of the moment. But I want to see the baby, and Hyun, more. Someone's fingers traced a path down Seonyu's cheek, steady and warm, like roots anchoring a young tree. You can see us again tomorrow. I will be here, so it's okay. Close your eyes, my love. Seonyu nodded, his breath soft and sure, like the quiet unfolding of dawn. Yes, Hyun. Tomorrow, and the day after too, because now, all three of us will be together. The silence wrapped around them like a gentle cloak, woven from threads of hope, new beginnings, and a love deep enough to hold all their fears and dreams. Here, the special chapter of Alpha obsessed with Omega end, but the story of their hearts continues, like a river flowing into an endless sea.